welcome to another episode from Your Own Pathway Leadership and Mental Well-Being in the Workplace. For those who don't know me, my name is Paya. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, turned empowerment life coach, and organizational leadership consultant. And around here, we rebuild foundations, challenge systems, and lead with soul. Because this isn't just about leadership, it's about healing how we lead, and we're all about owning it here. So I am recording this episode the week before Thanksgiving. And so when I actually put this episode out, it would be the actual week of Thanksgiving. So I just want to say that I am thinking of all of you, and I know it's a busy week. So that's why I decided to drop this episode, just a quick episode to really help all of us who are managing multiple things about the holidays. And today's holiday episode is all about navigating the full spectrum of the season. This includes work, demand, family expectations, and everything that lands in the middle, and how you can protect your stress level, hold your boundaries, and stay steady through it all. And so, as I said, we are officially entering the week before Thanksgiving. And I know everyone is feeling it because I'm feeling it. And if I'm feeling, I'm sure everybody else is feeling it also. So, what are we feeling? We're feeling the pressure, the expectations, the deadlines, the family dynamics, the travel, the emotions, and the chaos. And so let's get right into it. Why? Why does the holiday pressure hit so damn hard? Well, let's start here. Holiday pressure hits harder than we expect because it stacks emotional workload on top of practical workload. And what I mean by this is we're not just talking about planning meals. We're talking about taking time off, especially if you're traveling. We're talking about wrapping up projects if you have any projects, signing off deadlines, preparing for your travel, especially if you're flying. I know that there have been a lot of delays, especially here in the United States. But besides that, you're also carrying family expectations, cultural obligations, if you have any of that, emotional histories, old wounds. Oof, the holidays sure do open up old wounds, unspoken dynamics. When you go back home, sometimes you notice the childhood patterns that you thought you outgrew, and you go back home and you're like, nope, it's still the same old shit. Sometimes, along with that, it comes the familial guilt, pressure to perform, pressure to be okay. Yes, everything's okay. And especially the pressure to show up how other people want you to. So, yes, the holidays are heavy because you're living two realities at once, the work reality and the emotional reality. And the overlap is where people often burn out. So, even though I'm doing this episode, I understand that not everybody has vacation or time off because for the longest time, I never really got the holidays off too because I was a hospital social worker. And so I always knew I usually got Thursday off, Thanksgiving, but I always worked Wednesday night and I always, almost always worked Friday. It wasn't until recently in my most recent career, probably within like 2020 to 2021, yes, after about over a decade, that I finally got a Friday off and I didn't have to work. Wow. I'm like, wow, this is really nice. And so I want to say, and I will acknowledge that not everybody gets off. And it's really important because without them, we wouldn't, certain industries, we would not be able to operate. And I know that a lot of you who are watching this or who know people or who have family that are working and because others are off and um are what's the term I'm trying to think of? I can't think of the term right now. But I want to acknowledge the healthcare workers, the first responders, the retail employees, the mental health workers, the hospitality workers, the gig workers, the essential staff, and the people who are covering other people's shifts so that other people can go spend time with their families, and the people who are also short staffed who are willing to pick up. To those who are working through the holidays, I just want to say I see you, I acknowledge you, and I also know how exhausting it can also be, especially through the holidays. So, you're holding the weight of other people's stress while barely getting your own. And I want to acknowledge that. So, first, and I mean this sincerely, this prioritize small pockets of care. Please prioritize small pockets of self care for yourself, is what I mean. And for those who are working, if you can, take 5 minutes, in your car before a shift and after just to decompress. Stepping outside of air, drink water because that's important. And you know what? Set micro boundaries. You can set boundaries too. And if your manager comes and asks you, hey, can you take this shift? We're understaffed. It's okay to say, you know what? I can't take this shift. I need a rest also. So those are a few things that you can do to protect yourself and have boundaries if you are working. So, acknowledging that, let's move on about the invisible load of the holidays. And another reason why this week feels so intense is again, the holidays bring out invisible roles that people play. So, during this time, suddenly you're not just an employee, you're not just a leader, you're not just a parent, a partner, or a friend. You become the emotional mediator. You become the planner. You become the food coordinator. You become the gift organizer. You become the person fixing everything everybody goes to. You're the one making sure everyone is okay. Meanwhile, you're doing all this. Who is checking in on you? And this invisible load hits hardest for often women of color, first generation adults, uh, eldest daughters. Who's an eldest daughter? I'm a second daughter, so I can't claim my eldest daughter. People who grew up mediating their families, people who are the responsible one, people who want the holidays to go smoothly. So if you're carrying that responsibility, oftentimes you did not volunteer or consciously sign up for this. And it's okay to name it. Somehow you were just put into that role. And I want to say that it's okay. It's okay to breathe that out. And especially it is okay to choose differently and step out of that role if you are sick of it. So let's talk about this. You talk about the home life. Let's talk about work. Like, what boundaries can you have for the holiday week at home and at work? So this is all about boundaries and what you can do. So here are some simple boundaries that you can set for yourself. So boundary number one is I can help with X, but not all of it. So you're finally learning to delegate. And delegation is so important. It is not disrespect. Maybe you were the person where everybody was like, "Hey, they got taken care of," without ever knowing the struggles and the responsibilities and the weight that you carry by doing everything. So boundary number 1 is delegation. Boundary number 2 that you can do is let's name it, there are some conversations that come up that cause a lot of chaos, high tensions, high emotions, and I'm going to name it, especially politics. Politics really does increase all of this. And you also have the right to say, I'm not. I'm not discussing that topic this year. Yes. Yes, you are allowed to not entertain conversations that stress you out. Boundary number three, invitations. There's so many invitations. There's that work invitation. That's a Friendsgiving invitation. There's like another invitation, another invitation. And you know what? You don't have to attend all of them. So you can say, no, I cannot attend everything. Remember, your energy is a resource, not an obligation. So, boundary number four is, you know what? It's okay. It's okay to say, I'm leaving when I begin to feel overwhelmed. Give yourself permission to exit. Boundary number five, it's also okay to say, you know what? I need a moment. And that moment could be going to take a bathroom break, going outside to your car, going for a walk, or, just going somewhere where you can have peace and where you can go regulate yourself. Number six, this is an important one, and we've been taught, especially during the holidays, to always show gratitude. But what if you're actually not grateful? And when I say you're not grateful, I don't mean that you're not grateful. I'm saying you don't have to pretend to be grateful about something. When you're like, you know what? I don't have to pretend. I don't have to fake being grateful for this. And so you don't have to keep pretending or performing gratitude this year. Because if the holiday season is not joyful for you, you don't owe anyone fake cheer. And I think a lot of the holidays was, oh, everybody this, everybody that. But the holidays also brings out a lot of grief, a lot of loss, other things that we, especially in this country, hide behind the holiday. Oh, holiday cheer. But maybe there's a lot of holiday sadness, and for some reason, people are allowed not to express this because holiday is all about cheer, family, and you know what? You don't have to live a lie. You don't have to be facade if you're not feeling it. And boundary number seven is, you know what? This year, I'm choosing peace over tradition because you are allowed. You are allowed to break patterns that don't align with your well-being. And again, it goes a lot back to boundary number six is performing. Like, you know what? I'm so sick of performing. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm choosing my peace over tradition because every year I go, it's the same thing. It's the same toxicity. And I'm not doing that anymore. My energy is expensive. My time is expensive. And so you have the right to say, I'm choosing peace this year. So, boundaries for you to consider. So that's about the home life, and some of that could also be for work life. But for leaders and managers this week, let's talk about your role at work and how to set these boundaries and also take care of yourself because you have a big job also. So, this is your moment to lead with humanity and not just productivity. Remember, your team is tired, your staff is probably squeezed, and they are probably overstimulated, and they are carrying emotional weight that you will never see. So, here are some things that you, a leader, can do that could help, and even the smallest things can go a very, very long way. You know, some of this seems like, I don't want to say common sense, but um, it seems like, okay, yeah, this seems like, understandable, but I know that not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets that. And so, one of the things that, multiple things that you can do, but one of the things that you can do is please don't send extra tasks right before Thanksgiving. Honestly, your staff are so, they're done. They're emotionally done. They're like checked out. And so, another thing is don't expect holiday cheer from all your burned out employees. They're burned out. They're ready. They're ready to like go chill, or they probably don't even get to go chill because they have to travel for family. Um, and I know this one may cause a little bit of friction, but if there's like, work that can wait, maybe encourage people to log off early. Even that 5 minutes, it's like, you know what? Or encourage people to actually get off on time. Okay. You can also protect your team from last minute chaos. And I shouldn't even have to say this, but I'm going to say this. Don't guilt people for taking PTO. Don't guilt them for taking PTO that they have earned, and don't expect them to work during their PTO. Again, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've heard and I've met people whose leaders expect them to work during the holidays. Um, don't make people answer emails after work hours. Again, again. These are things that I shouldn't have to say, and yet I have to say them. Um, Practice emotional intelligence, understanding that people are going through lots of things right now. And it could be at work, it could be at home, whatever it is. Please have some like emotional intelligence and humility. And also be aware that some people on your team struggle with family holidays. As I mentioned, not everything is cheer, not everything's happy. There is a lot of hidden grief and loss during the holidays. So, leadership during the holidays is not all about productivity, okay? It's about care. So, moving on, I think we're like a part six. So, for everybody who is watching this, how to keep your sanity this week. Finally, here are things that you can do to stay grounded this week. So, number one, choose one non negotiable for yourself. This can include a walk, a cup of tea, bedtime at your usual time, and most importantly, a moment of silence to just sit in silence. Number two, I think this is for us ladies. It's okay to lower the bar of perfection. Okay, sometimes good enough is enough, and let's be real. Holiday perfection is a goddamn lie. It's a lie, okay? It's a lie. And so do what you can do. Do what you can do and that and be okay with it. Number 3 is give yourself permission to do less. Less cooking, less decorating, less emotional labor. So this year we decided that you know what, instead of all of us doing cooking, why don't we just order food and split the cost between us siblings? Because my family, we are notorious for cooking so many meals, and then we're also tired that we don't even get to enjoy our holidays. And so, most recently, we decided, you know what? Let's just cater. Let's just pick up a food and let's just split the cost between us siblings so that we can actually enjoy our time and not cook all day. So, yes, give yourself permission to do less. And this is so important. Remember, you are not responsible for everyone's emotions. You're just responsible for your own. Another thing that you can do is name your intention for the week. Is it peace? Is it calm? Is it boundaries? Is it nope? I am not absorbing anything else that is not mine. It is not my responsibility. Most importantly, don't self abandon to keep the peace. Oof. When I was doing therapy, this is one thing that I work so much with my clients about. When I was doing therapy, that was one thing that so many of my clients, especially during the holiday season, would talk about, where they would have to keep the peace, keep quiet, and not say anything that will rock the boat. But the person, often the abusive person, would say things, and yet they were expected to keep quiet because keep the peace. But at whose peace? So don't self abandon yourself to keep the peace. Because when you choose yourself, you choose alignment. Okay. And most importantly, allow. Allow yourself to feel both joy and grief. For some reason, during the holiday seasons, when anybody feels grief, there's a lot of grief during the holidays. And when somebody wants to express that grief, they're told to repress the grief because it's the holidays. You should be happy. Honestly, the holidays are very complicated. You are human and you are allowed to feel it all. So, I hope this episode helps all of you today who chooses to watch this because I know it is a hard time. There's so many things going on, and I just wanted to do this video to help guide anybody who is feeling that the world is closing in on them. And I want to remind all of you to please take care of yourself this week. This is the holiday season, but it is also a season of pressure, emotion, and responsibility. So give yourself grace, rest where you can, protect your energy, and most importantly, choose you. So that is all I'll have today for your own pathway, leadership, and mental well being. I hope you all have a safe holiday week, and I will see you all the first week of December. So take care and have a wonderful week.